I'm here with David Fasano, the founder of People's Choice Mortgage, and we're here to talk to him a little bit more about what's going on in his industry and the real estate market at large. So, David, one of the unique things about People's Choice Mortgage is kind of the diversity of experts and professionals that y'all really have working with you. And we're talking at all ends of the spectrum here. We have someone like you who's been in this industry for decades, but then we also have the young guns coming up who are fresh out of school and they're getting their feet wet. Why is it that you think that People's Choice Mortgage in particular, but the profession of being in the mortgage industry in general, is really good for young people to consider?
Well, one of the reasons we decided to spend a lot of time developing, the younger generation was due to the average. At the time, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, the average age of a loan officer in the industry was like 57. So there was no young, kids coming up, and we're like, there's going to be a big gap there at some point when all these 57-year-olds get out of the business and there's not a vacuum there to come in and step in and take that market share. So we thought it was smart to get ahead of it. Number one. Number two, it's a very lucrative business if you learn it and you treat it as, it's a professional bid. You're putting people in homes. You're learning how to get people $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 to buy a house. It's the biggest loan they'll ever get in their life. And if you become good and you truly learn the profession, there's people making $500,000 to $1 million a year just originating loans in the industry. They learn the social media. They really run it as a straight business, and it's just a great way for like I said, you could be a high school student being 18, and we have one of those. As you know, Cyrus already's got his LO license and his insurance license. He's already in multiple states. He's 19, and he knows more about financing, credit reports, reading tax returns, pay stubs, asset statements, and he's learning a lot about underwriting guidelines as well as the whole insurance component. And eventually, he's also going to roll over into the real estate side. So we own all these different companies that we have leadership in each company that has, whether it's me, who I've been doing multiple industries for 20, 30 years, or people I bring in to run these other companies are usually 20, 25-year people. And we're looking at it like a mentorship to try to mentor these young up-and-coming kids into being able to cross-sell into multiple industries as long as they follow all the rules and regulations. So it's really just something I learned. I came out of high school, I joined the Marine Corps, and while I was in the Marine Corps, I got lucky and fell into this business. Never in a million years did I think I would be doing financing. But as I learned it and found out it's fast-paced, it's not a slow-moving business, it's not boring, it's not like you're just sitting there shuffling paper. You got to be good at juggling a lot. You almost got to be a psychologist too. We're dealing with people, keeping people are very nervous going through the process. They're scared right up to the day they close. So there's just a lot of skills that we got to teach these guys. And because of all of our experience and knowledge from the real estate side to the insurance side, right down to the closing at the title side, and then the mortgage side, to have all these, like you said, talented people with all this experience around, and we did just recently add the credit accuracy piece, because we see so many people coming in with, things on their credit. And I've been doing credit for 30 years. I figured it was time for me to even add that component. And what we want to do is develop people so they have a full-rounded life going forward, challenge them into these multiple, they can learn it. There's no rocket science to this. And once they do that, they can set themselves up for what I try to say is, guys, it's always good in the mortgage real estate industry when we're booming. But what happens in those crash years? How are you going to survive through that? The same way our corporation is developing to survive and become a recession-proof industry or company, I want to do that for all the people within the organization too. So those are the type of people we're looking for. We want very highly motivated, self-motivated people that want some leadership that can open up doors for them. And at the same time, not pigeonhole them. Most of these people go to companies. We're running ads right now, Travis, recruiting, and we have so many real estate agents answering that have loan officer licenses, but when they apply at other companies, They're not allowed to hang their license in two separate industries. Now, that's company policy. That's not regulations from Fannie. There are some rules and regulations you have to follow. You know, FHA is a little stricter. You can't be dual licensed on one particular client, but Fannie Mae allows it. So in certain instances, you know, we have clients that are coming in where one salesperson can handle the whole, from the insurance to the mortgage, and the clients love it when they don't have to deal with 3 or 4 different people and be told to go out and find a realtor, go find an insurance. People are busy. They love the convenience of everything being right here, one shop. Everything can be done under one roof, fully disclosed. And the beauty of that too is when we're controlling the whole transaction, I have so much flexibility to help people. You know, for instance, we had a closing coming up. The borrower was short. They were short like $2,000 in closing costs. Well, we're doing the mortgage. We're doing the real estate. We're doing the title. I can turn around and write a closing cost credit in to help this borrower out if needed, because I'm controlling it all. But if I don't control it all, you got to get on the phone with all 4. Hey, will you pitch in? Will you? No, F you. And that type of stuff happens all the time. So it's the benefit for the borrower is everybody's on the same page under one roof. There's nobody's fractured. Everybody knows what's going on with the file all the way through the process. We know if there's a problem early. Usually when there's a problem, the mortgage companies never communicate with the realtors. They always find out the day they need an extension. In our company, we know right away, problem, we have a group team meeting on the file and usually a lot of times it's the person makes a mistake on their credit report midstream. That's one of the biggest errors clients make. So when they make a mistake on the credit, for me to be able to have credit experts at my fingertips, instead of me having to send these people out to some outsourced company that could take 30, 60, 90 days to fix a problem that nobody's waiting for. The seller's not going to wait for that problem to be fixed. Their down payment is in jeopardy. And for me to be able to have that tool at my disposal to be able to fix a problem in 5 to 7 business days, it's everything I do is always done in a way is how do I make it for the best customer service of the client? What would be the best for me if I had to go through this process? And that's kind of how I'm trying to build it. But at the same time, I am different than everybody else where I am going to allow everybody that comes into my company that wants to learn and reach for the stars. I'm not going to stop them. I'm going to let them get licensed and I'm going to be there to teach them how to be recession proof. I went through the recession and, you know, that was a tough, you know, when you go from making this much money down to this much in like 3 months, I learned a lot about building other plans and with the insurance industries, even credit. We teach people how to even help people fix their credit. These are all industries that you can make money in, whether the market's up or down. You always got to keep your homeowners insurance. You always got to keep your auto insurance. Doesn't matter what the market's doing. So if you know how to handle that business as well, and then you even know how to help people on the credit side, which again, none of this is rocket science. These are all things that are very easily taught. Within 3 to 6 months, you can know how to do these things. After you get your license, we throw you in, we throw business at you to teach you on it. We don't throw you out in the field until we know you're comfortable and you got your feet under. So I feel like we have a strong mentorship program. We got professional coaching that we also add. And that's kind of the future of what I see of at least our organization.